So welcome everyone to our Two Posh podcast, and I'm here with my daughter Marcella.
Hello.
And our amazing DJ Spider.
Hello.
And today we are back with our amazing ladies, Tracy and Angela Chester, the directors and producers of Housewives of Dallas, which is debuting this Sunday on December 9th, 2018 on the On channel. In this hour, we're going to learn all about how it came to be to have that show, how filming went, who are the characters on the show, who are the cast members, all of it. So, Tracy, please tell us how
I can't wait to hear this.
I know how this got started and the plan with it, all of it.
No. So, honestly, we are reality junkies, especially me. I'm a reality junkie. So, you know, I love watching all of the various reality series, and particularly the Housewives and the Love and Hip Hops. And so that's kind of my thing. And I noticed that there weren't a lot of people that look like us. And I don't mean us in the sense of color. They didn't look like us in the sense of the makeup of that family. I didn't see a lot of same-sex relationships on these reality shows. And then
Are there any ever? I don't think so. Yeah.
And when I would see the shows that would try to include, excuse me, the LGBTQ community, it was more so making fun of us. It would be like a really hardcore like drag queen that they're making fun of. You know what I mean? Or the spouse would catch the other person with someone, but it was always like, it was never a positive view of the LGBTQ community. And I thought, you know what? Why don't we do our own show that looks, that has a look of people that look like us, that were all also LGBTQ. We also have a lot of friends. My wife had friends that always had these really funny, odd stories that you would only hear in the privacy of your home. Honestly, everyone is just such a character that I met. And I just said, you know, we've got to do this. And I kind of prayed on it, dreamt about it, thought, how could I possibly do a show like this when I have no experience? I come from a nonprofit background. Psychology is my thing. It's not acting. It's not producing. It's not directing. It's not creating. None of that. How could I possibly create a show when I don't know where to begin? So I literally just kind of started doing some research. I talked to my wife about it, and I said, I want to do a show. And we kind of thought about different names that we would call the show. And so that was kind of the small part. The bigger part was, how do I get this from an idea to actualizing it to it's an actual show? And so, excuse me, I reached out to friends that I knew that were in the industry, and I said, you know, I have the show that I want to do, and what should be my first steps? And one of the things that one of my good friends said, which is probably the best advice that she had, was get it copywritten. You have a name of the show? I said, yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
Well, I don't, honestly, I kind of, the very first thing I had was like kind of rooster fish. When I first started, I'm serious, because there's a place in Venice, it's a bar, it's called Rooster Fish, honestly. And it is where it's like guys were the roosters and the women are the fish. So at first I kind of thought Pride-wise would be anyone that was LGBTQ and married. So it didn't matter if I had guys or girls. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to call it Sugar Cane. Sugar for women, cane for the guys, you know, cane, and then sugar.
She did.
So I literally just kept coming up with all these names, and I was like, well, we're all going to be married. And I honestly cannot remember when the actual name Pride Wives, well, part of it was gay pride. And I remember coming up with the Pride part. And I just don't remember how that name came up, but Pride Wives, it just came up and it just stuck.
It's
I love
perfect,
And it
yes.
was just like pride for gay pride, you know. And I think I said to my wife, well, pride for gay pride. And she may have said, well, they're wives. So let's just, and it just was like Pride Wives.
We had went through a lot of good names.
A
She
lot
had
of good names.
and they were perfect. And we just kept going through names, and then she's like Pride, and then I'm like Wives or Pride People, because we didn't know if it was women still at that time.
Right.
And then Pride Wives, it just sounded so good, and she copyrighted.
And it stuck.
But every single idea, it was just an idea, but she would write it down, or she'd pull her phone out and say that again.
Yeah, I did.
Or
Smart.
she started recording and writing, and she got completely focused and serious about it. You know, everything we did, people were gonna try to charge us a whole lot for this, a whole lot. So we started shopping around for filming. I mean, keep going.
Oh, yeah. So like literally, so I went and got the copyrights for it, and I just started writing. Like she said, every time I had a thought, I would have a dream. And in the middle of the night, I would wake up and just start writing down.
Smart.
Or I would get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom and record the thought or the dream that I had. And I would just start writing and
And
writing
she
it
would say it
down.
out loud, and then I would probably add a little to it to make it snap, you know, or country enough or whatever. She'd have the Hollywood to it, and I'd have the country
to it.
Yeah.
and it would just work out, and it was so perfect together. It's
It
like
was.
peanut butter and jelly. You know?
Honestly. And then I said, okay, well, we have a lot of friends around us that are married. It was important that it was married couples. And so it was more so trying to help other same-sex couples like ourselves learn how to navigate, you know, this thing called life, being gay in particular in Texas at the time. And so we just kind of started working from there and looking for couples that were married. My wife knew more people than I knew in Texas. And then we had to kind of think outside of the box. For me, it wasn't just about Dallas. I'm from California. So how do I do this where it can translate everywhere? And we
I
thought,
asked you that.
we're just going to franchise it. What the hell? So we didn't brand Pride Wives Dallas. What I own is Pride Wives. So it can go anywhere. It could go Pride Wives Dallas, Pride Wives LA, Pride Wives Atlanta, Pride Wives Miami,
Washington.
DC. And that's what we
So
did.
smart.
So I kind of just got all my copyrights in place and wrote the storyline out, my log line, wrote with the whole idea of Pride Wives was. I wrote in and I got my copyrights for it, and then we just started with the cast, and it literally just took off.
And you know what? Without even knowing it, we probably knew we had a show, because all of our conversations was, well, it's not like that in California.
Always.
Or it's not like that in Texas, you know, and we would talk like that all the time, you know, how free it is there, because I've always thought California was free, not just because of the gay, because I watched the roller skating on the beach, and
Yeah.
the shows, everything we saw on TV was that. So that was free to me, and nobody
And freaky,
judged.
tell the truth. Sure thing was, California, like our image is free and
Yeah.
freaky. You guys are all freaks out there.
Yeah.
And that's how she
Even
thought
the
of
songs,
California.
whatever she won't do here, I can go to California and find somebody that will, you know.
Right.
And stuff like that. You kind of always knew they were freaky, but yeah, that's kind of how we already knew that was a good story, because the way we do it in Texas is not the way they do it in California.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of took off from there. So it was important for me to kind of figure out what type of cast we were going to have, what they were going to look like. And I have to say, we have really gone through a serious journey, because when I first started, I had people that were in the industry, and they said they have to look like this, they have to fit this mold, they have to talk like this, they have to have this going on, they have
Right.
to have a story. So everyone had to look like what Hollywood's vision of what what's acceptable as far as being seen on TV. So they have to be this tall, this skinny, have this kind of face, wear this kind of makeup, have their hair like this. And I wanted a show that was authentic, that showed real life people. Real life people don't look like Hollywood women. They're
We
not
talked about
all
it.
a size 5 or 3 and weigh standing at 5'8", weighing 120 pounds. That is not that is not the norm. That is, I mean, you really have to work hard for that. To me, the norm is a me. It's a my wife. It's my cast. You know, they come in a variety of shapes, sizes. I've got some
Colors.
short, fat ones. I've got some tall ones. I've got some medium. Honestly, I've got some medium
That's
sized
who's
ones.
watching the show. It's not going to be perfect looking
No.
people watching the show. It's going to be
Your average, everyday person.
Yeah.
That I wanted our cast to be relatable to the people watching the show. I didn't want it to be like, and I love the Housewives, all of them. But when I look at the Housewives, the reality is most people don't look like that unless you've got the money or you've got the doctor.
They also don't have the lives like
Right.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
Right,
it's very
honestly,
rare, yeah.
right. So
Takes a
it's
lot
a
of money.
reality.
privilege.
It's a lot of money.
Money.
And so it's like I wanted my cast to look like the person that's going to be sitting behind that TV or sitting on that bed, you know, fat and all, whatever the case may be. I wanted my cast to look like them. So that was the most important thing to me. And so we just literally
Relatable.
started the selection, and my wife again had friends, and it was like, well, you guys know, try this couple. And we had a lot of couples when
and
we
they've
first
been together
started.
this long, and they've been together, and she's trans, and everybody had the story that somebody could relate to.
Wow.
Not just the way they look, but their story
Right.
and the way they live and where she works, and you know, and having your own company. And she's been with a woman, and now she's divorced, and people are like, do we get divorced or whatever? There's an answer
think
to
about
every
that.
question
Right.
in Pride Wives.
You're right, and just because you're gay, does that mean you don't have kids or you've never had kids? And do we
Right. You
cheat on
can't
each
have
other?
kids?
And yeah, we do. And do we? You know, same-sex couples, can they have kids? Yes, they can. And how do you have kids? So every one of our cast members
Has a
had
story.
some sort of story that was happening in their life that to me was relatable. And I felt like, you know what? Yeah, that's like, let's get their story out. And so we just started the selection process. We had a lot of couples when we first started. Some of them kind of weaned themselves out. And then some of them, their storyline just wasn't relatable enough. And when you have to kind of dig for a storyline, that just may not be the right couple for you. You know, you do have to have something going on in your life. And so we kind of just started from there and just literally made it happen. And when I think about it, I literally took a thought 4 years ago, just literally a thought, and I took it from a thought, having no experience, wrote everything out, and I have literally had to experience every phase of this process. We didn't have anyone to call to say, can you do this for us? We didn't have anyone to call, and can you write this out? And how do I do this? Well, can you do it? I had to research it, and I had to do it myself. I spent many nights up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5, not getting any sleep at all, writing and trying to chart and
Researching.
figuring out step by step by step, how do I get this from here to there to where we have an actual product where we can now debut and show. Like, it has been,
Sometimes
man.
I always go to bed about 10 o'clock. But sometimes I wake up and she was still, I mean, she was so focused on this. And what I do have to say to everybody, not just women, men, gay, trans, everybody, if your partner is passionate about something and you love them, I feel like you should support it, because it's going to benefit, you know, y'all in the end. You'll have a happy wife. She got to follow her dream. It's going to benefit the family, you know, and you know, and I just feel like if that's who you're going to be with, and they're passionate about something, your thoughts come from your higher power.
Right.
You're here for something. If that's your calling, don't stop them from you know, being who they were supposed to be. Just support it, and in the end, it'll benefit everybody.
Everybody.
Right.
You know.
Right.
know.
And that really is the truth, because it did feel like my wife kind of had similar experiences when she opened up her business, the company. And kind of like this journey that I went on, it really has been a real spiritual journey more than anything. Like, honestly, spiritually, I have gone through so much.
Yeah.
Our relationship has gone through so much. But I have to say that having my wife's support to me has been everything. Because if I had a partner that was kind of like, oh no, we can't afford this and we can't do that, or how could you possibly go from here to there? You don't know anything about it. It was never ever a question. She never ever said you can't do it. My wife would say, well, look, you grew up with this person, that person, this person. You grew up in Hollywood. You know all about this, and that. Even though you didn't work in this field, doesn't mean you, I mean, literally, she just started pulling out things to support me in what I was doing versus the opposite of saying, oh, we can't do this. When we didn't have the money to pay for a camera crew, we figured it out. You know what I mean? Like, we still did that. We paid for a camera crew. If we didn't have our own camera just recently, we borrowed a camera. Like, we figured it out, but we got it done. And for me, it was just like I wasn't going to rest until we got it done. And my wife was very supportive.
We actually had 3 camera crews. It has been really, really challenging, and it was expensive. But you know what? Talking, figuring it out, we got really good quality people in the end that you had to see the vision to get it.
Yeah.
And I think in the beginning, the first crews didn't see the vision, so it wasn't a reality show. It was really just them recording us and taking pictures to them, making money, just making a couple of little videos and whatever. So it wasn't, the vision wasn't there, but that was thousands of dollars.
But it taught us a lot. That taught us a lot.
Everything taught us a whole lot.
Everything we went through has taught us a lot.
Then we met somebody else, and his price almost fainted and fell out the truck and stuff. But
fell out the truck.
Yeah, but we figured it out. I paid him, and it was completely worth it.
It was worth it.
Oh, good.
The thing that I did learn throughout the process is, regardless of your cast, your budget, whatever, you've got to produce a certain type of product. It does have to look a certain
y'all all
way
have
to be
on the same page.
Right.
Everybody.
You can't just produce and throw out anything, because people are not gonna. The quality was important, and even though we didn't spend what people usually spend, what people thought. One of the producers, expensive. A friend of mine who worked on a lot of shows, she started out as a producer on the show, was like, it's going to cost at least $100,000 for you to do what you need to do. And literally, we got that for less than a quarter of that. And the quality is so good. This was our sizzle reel, that when we showed it to people, they thought we had spent thousands and thousands.
At least 50,000.
Yeah. So to me, you can still get quality footage without spending a lot of money. You just have to know how to do it, or have
somebody has to see your vision.
How to do it, and they have to.
Now,
see
how many episodes did you guys record?
So
for season 1,
what we're looking at for our season 1 is going to be about 8 episodes. They're 30-minute segments. 30, and actually, it's a long 30 minutes, isn't it? It doesn't even seem like it's a 30-minute. It seems like it's about an hour. It just pulls you in, and you're like, damn, that's it. And it's like, damn, that was only 30 minutes, and it just seemed like we got so much out of it. But we have about 8 episodes per season, 8 to 10, because we will allow for like our reunions, and so it'll be about 8 to 10 episodes.
So this season 1, when it premieres on Sunday, is that going to be all 8 episodes at once, like Netflix does it, or are you doing one episode?
One episode
Make you hungry for next Sunday.
Very much like with Netflix, but it is 1 episode a week, and then once it's done, of course, it'll be sitting there, and you can kind of binge and watch it like you can everything else.
Does your cast all know each other? Is it kind of like a Real Housewives where they is there drama?
So we all know each other.
Okay.
There is drama, but the drama is really within their own family.
Okay.
So it's not against each other.
Okay.
One of the other things that was important to me, because again, I like reality shows, and one of the things that is always disheartening is when I see a group of women kind of just bashing and going at each other.
Yeah.
And it makes good for TV. But as far as real life for me, that's just not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have us fighting each other and backbiting and name calling and demeaning each other. I didn't want to do that. So it is not about that. It's more about educating and entertaining and kind of inspiring people, educating people about the community, inspiring people because of the different stories that we're going to tell, and then entertaining because I do have entertainers that are on the cast. The drama is within families. We have families where there's some infidelity that happens. We have a couple of couples that are trying to have children, doing IVF, artificial insemination kind of things. So it's more stories.
And then about families not accepting and, keeping their kids away or however they...
Family, religion. We're kind of touching on those subjects. Suicide, teen suicide, LGBTQ community, depression, mental health issues, substance abuse issues.
Mothers with gay children.
Yep. How does that affect your family, as a parent when you have a gay child? And, not everybody's is accepting. And, how do you handle
that? And that's education in its own form, because you can't really learn those things on your own. It's better to see people that have already went through it or are going through it right now,
Well, when we had Tommy, my mom's best friend, on the show, I was so shocked when he told us about the homelessness of the gay community. That was huge. And I was like, what? That, again, I feel kind of, I don't know the word, where I just don't know that that's still going on. I would think that it's more acceptable.
We talked about this yesterday.
I would too. I would too. And it still amazes me, because to me, it seems like it's, when I was younger, that kind of was an issue. A lot of people would run away and go to Hollywood because their parents put them out. And that was years ago. And so we've kind of progressed and gone to another place. But it seems like we're kind of going backwards now, and they're doing that again. And it is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday. There's a couple of people that try to help the community. Kirk and what's Kirk's last name?
Yeah, I can't remember Kirk.
Yeah, there's a couple of people in Dallas that really try to help the cause, but now I'm just finding out how big it is, especially with gay teenagers.
Yeah.
It shocks me, though. I'm like, you just love your children.
Yeah, you would think so.
Some parents are just like, you're not going to live in my house
at
like
all,
that.
period.
Especially in the South. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad that's still going
I know.
on.
Yeah. We have one of our couples.
Kirk Myers.
Yeah, Kirk Myers.
That's who he's really, really active.
Big in the LGBTQ community.
And that's a big deal to him, to try to help with the homelessness of the gay community, So I'm giving him a shout out.
That's nice.
Yeah. One of our couples, and one of our transgender couples, believe it or not, his mother was actually a lesbian. And so he grew up with a lesbian mom who had several girlfriends, to the point where the lesbian mom would leave the kids at home and kind of skip town and leave the kids by themselves to fend for themselves while she was hanging out with her girlfriends. So honestly, this is like true, she would just leave the kids and they would have to figure out how they were going to eat out of the trash can, and the neighbors would feed them and this and that. And so has this particular cast member grew up to be a transgender, and believe it or not, his mom does not accept him.
What?
Because he is transgender and she is a lesbian.
That shocks me too.
Yeah. But it's Pride Wives.
Yeah. Wow. And that's reality.
I was just going to ask you if you could give us, how many couples are on the show?
So we've got 4 actual couples, including us. And we have
You're one of the 4 couples.
We're one of the 4 couples. And then we also have a single cast member who's recently divorced. So she's trying to find herself a new mate, possibly, or an old mate, possibly, or...
And is it the same cast for every season, or you want to keep them, or you would change?
So what we're doing right now is our first season. We already have, of course, the cast that's in place, but we have been talking about this kind of long and hard. We are looking to add new cast members, possibly move some of the current cast members out of place and kind of shift around. Of course, since we started this adventure, we've met a lot of really interesting couples that are coming with some really interesting stories that are real life, that people may want to peek into their life and say, hey, what's going on over here? So we've met a lot of really cool people that we're thinking about possibly including, and then kind of shifting around some of our current cast. So it's a possibility. You will definitely see new cast members on season 2. Oh, there's definitely going to be change. Absolutely.
So if you could, since we're about to see season 1, can you give us a little short description of each couple and what they're about?
Okay, let's see. I'll bullet point this. Let's see. So, of course, you have us, the Chesters, and the creator as well as the co-creator. So you'll kind of get a glimpse at our life as far as we're looking at renewing our vows. And when we got married, we did this by ourselves. We got married in West Hollywood by ourselves on a whim. Let's do it. And we did it. We didn't get to invite our family and friends. So we're looking to invite our family and friends, kind of see how that'll pan out because my wife's family is not quite as accepting as we would like them to be about our
so
marriage.
this is on this season. We get to see this.
This is some of this season.
This is cool. Okay.
We also have, so we're the Chesters. We also have the Clarks. That's EC and Muffin. They've been together. You know how long they've been together?
9 years, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They've been together for 9 years. She did say that. They're entertainers in the LGBT community. So we do this big, and you may be familiar because you know the drag show. So they kind of do a drag show in reverse for women. So it's kind of like the women more like have a masculine for the most part.
It's a lip sync.
It's a lip sync kind of a show. So they're entertainers in the LGBT community, but they have a big shakeup in their relationship, completely unexpected. Huge thing that could possibly damage the relationship. So we're actually
this was filmed.
This is So we're hoping that this couple actually makes it through this. This is honestly real life happening now in their life. They're going through something. And that is the Clarks. That's EC and Muffin. And then we also have the Santana Reeds. That's Angelise and Danielle. They've been married now as long as we've been married. So I think a little bit right behind us.
They're 5 years.
They're 5 years in, and they've been trying to have a baby for the past 3 years. They've had several IVF treatments. They've all failed. They've lost every single child that they've tried to have. So they're now in the process of going through their 5th implant. And so they've started the process of their 5th implant. We're not sure if it has, if the embryo has stuck or if it's taking or not,
or if she's pregnant,
or not. So we're still in that waiting process to see if this one has stuck. They've got a new doctor, so hopefully this one works for them. But they're kind of taking us through their journey in the process of being able to become pregnant, hopefully. And then we also have the Jacksons. We've got Kim, and Amir. This is our trans couple. Kimmy considers herself queer. She says, I guess I would be considered queer because she was straight all of her life. She was the judgmental church woman who was engaged to a preacher. Very judgmental. In fact, knew my wife many years ago when they worked together and would try to preach to her and bring the Bible around and convert her into being, a good Christian because she knew she was gay. But she is now part of the cast, and there's part of a story that we kind of take you through on that journey of how she got to that place. But she, again, was a very staunch Christian, and now she is married to a transgender, female to male.
Female to male.
Female to male.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And female to male. She's now married to Amir. And so that's that couple. They also have like a photography business called Capture. And then we've got Yavadu, who is the one who's recently divorced. She was married for a very short period of time, that long. Her story is very interesting. She's got a lot of suitors that she has dated, of course. She has one partner that she had that is kind of being considered, or people are saying she's the reason why Yava and her wife divorced. She's also part of the cast, so she'll kind of be featured and coming through there. That is the person that Yava's supposed to have cheated with is the reason why her and her wife are no longer together, who is now coming on the scene with a baby. Where did that baby come from, and whose baby is that?
Oh my God.
So she's kind of entered back onto the scene with Yavadu. So we're going to kind of take you through Yava's journey. And so that's kind of the cast in the nutshell. And again, everybody kind of has their own journey, but with that, we all have a common journey. You know what I mean? We're all part of the same community, and we're just trying to figure out how to navigate this thing called life, honestly.
It's cool. I want to watch
on
it.
our terms.
Yeah.
On our terms.
very
We're trying to do
interested.
this on our terms.
I know
so.
we have to all watch it, and
Yeah.
then I want you back, and then I would like to have your other families
Absolutely.
on and have
That'd be
more
so
to get
cool.
to know them better.
Absolutely.
And, as this episodes come out, we should
Absolutely.
do that
Now,
more.
has there ever been a thought of men? Like,
So that was an excellent question. That is one of the things we are going to eventually include.
Okay.
But when we first started this, we kind of wanted to bring it out because the name Pride Wives.
Wives,
One of
right.
the things, like if you notice, like some of the other reality wives show, they're not even married.
anymore,
Like
yeah.
housewives of this person, they're not even married.
They're all
We're-
divorced.
They're all
Most of
divorced.
them are.
They're all divorced,
They should
or
change
they're
it.
just, they're just. So it was important to kind of make the cast match the name. So we wanted wives at first, but we wanted to also start including some of our gay guys. We do have a couple of we call them friends of cast
Okay.
members that do appearances, and they are actually part of our gay guy crew.
okay.
And so it is a little, we got some diversity going on in there. We're throwing in some sprinkles here and there. So we do have a few appearances from some of our really cool gay guy cast members, and we call those friends of cast.
Okay.
So, yeah, but we are looking to
interesting.
weave in some of the gay guy couples who tend to be really messy.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say like they're probably very entertaining as well.
And
like
if you
the-
think about it, they're wives.
Yes.
Right.
They are.
Yeah.
So we are looking at that. We just kind of wanted to start it out this way and then
Yeah.
kind of, and again, because we are looking to branch out and not just keep it as Pride Wives Dallas, we're going to different cities. And so
Right.
each city, the cast will kind of reflect what's going down in that
Right.
community.
Depending
So,
on who we meet.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. So
No, I know. What was like your favorite episode? I know you guys did firewalking and all that. Is that
I think the best episode is probably going to be, if I have to think in my head, the firewalking one is that's a cool episode.
My favorite is the group.
That's going to be it.
We have a group meeting.
That's going to
group
be it.
meeting?
A round table.
It's a round table meeting,
Oh,
and
man.
everybody that watched us filming it was crying. There was
That's
not a
true.
dry
When
eye
we
in the
bring
room.
the round, and that's the one where we're kind of talking about our experiences coming out.
How we came out,
how
our
we came
family
out, how our
accepted it.
families accepted or didn't accept it, and what our experiences were. But that particularly, you're right, that's probably going to
And
be the
then
most impactful. And it also
Okay.
touches on suicide, et cetera. And so at the end of that one, we're going to do, of course, a nice PSA to kind of let people know where you can go
Right.
if you're dealing with some of these issues. And some of the cast got put out by their family. And so it's just really, that is going to be really impactful.
Gay man having to tell his father,
Who was a preacher.
who was a preacher.
And his mother, who still, until just recently, he's grown. And his mother just recently, when he told his mom, he told his dad he was accepting.
Yeah.
But his mother told him he was going to hell.
Yeah, and then another person was always gay and then got married to a woman that accepted him as a gay man, and they had kids and got married
I
because
know that a little bit,
wow.
like more than once though. Like
Yeah.
I think that happens often.
A lot.
actually.
you
It
have
does.
to
It does.
satisfy your family. It's not
I
for
see what
you.
you're saying.
It's really to satisfy others. If you think about it,
Giving
that's
them
not
kids. Let me give my mother a grandchild.
Yeah,
For some people, that's important.
because
I
now
know.
she feels like she'll never have one because her son is gay. So now it's important for him to figure out for his mom to give her a grandkid and still be able to be who he wants to be or who she wants to be, and it just causes a lot of.
Yeah, that was an interesting story because
Yeah,
we
the group
hear
is
about
just-
that all the time, but personally meeting and knowing someone who's
Right.
actually lived that life
Right.
was really interesting.
Everything
to me.
tied in because one person in the group actually knew me as the gay girl when she was growing up. It's like, you were that gay girl, you know, and
Kimmy was one of them. She
Ki-
said the same thing. The
but
one that,
EC.
yeah, both of them. It's like, it's so good. That's
so?
the
What
round
episode
table.
will that be? You think?
That's going to be towards the end.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably leave that one for episode 7 or 8. That's probably going to be part of our last episode
yeah.
because it's so impactful. I think we want to leave that. It's probably going to be for last, close to last.
So tell me, where is this going to be on again?
So you'll be
Where
able
can we
to
watch
view
it?
this on the On channel, ON.
Okay.
The On channel, and it is available on all mobile apps. All mobile apps.
Okay.
It will also be available as of today, actually, between today and tomorrow. You'll be able to download it or pull up the On channel on Roku or Amazon Fire.
Okay.
Now, we all have it on our phones, but for me, it was really important to be able to watch it on a big TV screen from home in my bed. So we've got a Roku stick. And so we'll be able to just kind of tune into the On channel off of Roku, and you'll be able to pull up Pride Wives.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know, because I was like, I don't know what the On channel
Yeah,
is.
it's ON, not OWN. So when we say on versus own,
Yeah.
on, but it is the On channel, and it's actually just THE, and it has on with the exclamation and then the On channel. But you can pull it up on all of your your mobile devices, like your phone, your laptop, your tablet.
And once
if
you
you have a box, you can actually type it in on your box if you have a box for your TV.
Android box.
An Android box.
Another thing is if you go on it on your phone or you click on one of our links, the On channel, it'll ask you to create a password, so you can take that password everywhere you go to other devices. So it's not like you have to
everywhere on any device.
resubscribe.
Right.
So you take your password for your phone, your laptop, your tablet, your TV, however, that same password, so you don't have to worry about if I sign up here, how am I going to get it on my TV? It's the same password everywhere.
Right. And then on our page, which is Pride Wives, at Pride Wives, that's on Facebook as well as Instagram. If you go on our page and look in our bio, we have a link. You can just click on the link and it'll take you right to the On channel.
So you have to feel both of you have to feel really like that it's coming on Sunday. Do you feel almost emotional? Is your cast excited, accomplished, nervous?
You know, it's
People
so funny.
that.
I thought I would feel some kind of way, and I don't. Honestly, I think I was so nervous and so frazzled. Like the first when we did like a premiere, we did like our first premiere, which was an absolute freaking disaster. I mean, it was when I tell you it was horrible. We went and we set up everything and we had everything together, and you could not pull the damn thing up. We had a disc, we slid it in. It just nothing worked. It was a fucking disaster. Honestly, it was the worst. So I think after I went through that emotionally, I just kind of brought myself down, and I was like, you know what? Let's just get through it. And then we had another premiere at Charles' home, which was really nice. We didn't have a lot of. It was like
a private party, with entertainment, friends, and stuff like that. We invited a lot of people, but we really wasn't expecting them to show up on a Sunday evening. The people that were there, I guess those were the people that were meant to be there. And we made sure I paid for plenty of entertainment that kind of kept us entertained and laughing, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. So after that, to me, I guess I'm not there yet. I it still feels so surreal. So I think it has to actually happen and pass, and then I can say, oh, we did it. I feel like we did it. And I said to my wife, I'm like, I think I went through that already. And I was like, we did it. I can't believe we actually did this. So once it's done and it's there and I can see it, then I'll probably feel it. But right now, I'm just not there yet.
And me, I'm a business person. Everything is business with me. So as soon as it was finished, and even though I know it's premiering on Sunday, my business mind is like, we gotta advertise. We gotta tell them.
So we're looking for
we gotta
the next
tell their
thing.
friends to tell their friends to tell their friends. We're so we can make this a household name. I want everybody to learn the theme song. I'm like, I'm business with it. Now we've got to make sure everybody knows about it.
Right.
So I'm still not there. Once I see and hear everybody talking and people are like, hey, can y'all, and hey, aren't y'all? And then I'll feel like we did it. I'm just not there yet.
Yeah, I know.
She says it though. She does. Can you believe we finally did it and this happened? And she throws that in there, and I'm like, yeah, I can't believe it.
Because it is so surreal when I think about it again. I started from knowing nothing to a finished product. How do you go from where I started to a finished product, and it happened in, I guess, 4 years? Could have happened sooner, but I think everything happened the way it was supposed to happen.
And don't think we didn't get screwed.
Oh, boy, did we get screwed. A lot.
We have stories and ways that we can help people that are coming up in this. We got screwed by important people.
who really had serious titles in Hollywood, who really worked on film.
Right. We didn't get screwed by somebody that came up and said, hey, we can help you with this. We got screwed by people who have been in the industry that were on shows for 38 seasons.
Wow. How did they screw you?
Financially. It's like, you know what? Look, I love your show. I love your concept. Let me help you do this. So they kind of help refine
I charge this
much.
It.
Yep.
And we'll put you on the network and all this, and then you pay them. And then after that, they're not contacting you as much. And you're like, hey,
but these are legit people, real live people. And it's like, well, you only gave me this, or you asked me to do this, or you only wanted me to do that. And so we kind of went through that whole process. The thing that got us to where we were is just us doing it ourselves.
Right.
Honestly.
And not hiring nobody else.
Honestly, just figuring out on our own. But we got God.
And we made sure Hollywood knew our name, because the people that we're kind of putting it out there. She had friends that would reach out to friends and that would reach out to friends. But then once we started hiring people that are already in the industry, it's like, he's been on this show as a producer
for
years and years. And
great shows. I mean, like
on a
top
major
of the line
networks.
ABC network.
Yes, ABC producers. That comes on 2 times a week. So we knew they knew people, and thousands of dollars
later. And we actually went to we went to the Emmys, like some of the Emmy stuff, the after parties.
He got us in
we got swag bags, and he kind of got us into stuff. But like, as far as doing anything, I got a meeting for this, I got a meeting for that, and never had a meeting.
You know what? No one will help you.
Anything.
What you said earlier, you did it all yourself.
Yes.
We learned that
That's
too.
what you have to do, and you have to get to a certain point doing everything yourselves until then people go, oh, well, now I want to be part of it.
Right.
Did
That's
you ever
how
it goes?
Want to quit?
Never.
No, it's not an option for me. And it's so funny. I had to remove myself from it because I come from, again, a nonprofit. So I'm a giver by nature. And so for me, it's not even about me anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what happened.
Okay.
It became more about the cast and about other people.
It's going to be
making sure that other people
cast.
could kind of, see that, like she said, like, I see you. It was kind of my way of saying to people that are part of our community, we see you. Mm-hmm. We see you. We want to produce something that reflects you. So it's more about other people than it is about me. Right. So for me to stop, I can't, because it's not even about me. If it was about me, I probably would have quit a long time ago. But it's not about me. One of the things I want to make a point to make about this show is that what makes it, outside of the fact that it's just not a reality show that's like this right now, is that what makes us so unique is that we kind of are those people that don't fit the mold. We're women of color. We're gay. We're married. We're
business owners
and business owners. There is no show that is out there that is created by a lesbian couple, married lesbian couple. That's a reality series about LGBT people. There's no show that's out there like that. There's no show that is created by married lesbian couple of color that is an LGBT reality show. There isn't. This is the first of its kind, honestly. Now, there have been shows that they've put out that are like TV shows that are out about the LGBT community. I think Whoopi Goldberg tried to do a show that she produced, which was really good. It was about a bunch of trans models. And it didn't last long at all. But again, she's not a gay lesbian woman. So there have been Pose is out there. That's a great show. There's a lot of great shows, but there are no reality shows that are done by lesbian, black, gay, married couple. Wow. So this is the first of its kind that is around the LGBTQ community. And who better to talk about the community than someone who's a part of it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, congratulations to you ladies. We're excited. I want to watch it on Sunday.
Me too.
And then we're going to get with you again and have you come back and see how this journey progresses. And
absolutely.
I thank you ladies for being on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
So exciting. Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.